And then, in an ideal world, what age would you like to retire? And then you put down, how much do you earn today? And then, if you can put down how much pension you'd like to have when you retire. So, what would you like your retirement income to be? Now, how are you going to achieve this level of income? If you look at the figures, you'll see whether there's a problem or not. Now, government stats reckon that 7 million people out there have little or no idea what they're going to do when they retire and how they're going to afford it. In other words, they're going to be poor. If you don't do something about pension planning, you're going to be poor. Well, we're all in business. We don't really want to be poor. That's why we're in business. So maybe we should start thinking about what we're going to do in retirement. Unless, of course, you're fabulously wealthy. So, hands up. Who's fabulously wealthy? Okay, none of us. Okay. How about, I'm going to win the lottery? Well, I keep on winning fivers, but does anyone actually know anyone who's won a big prize on the lottery? Or even if you have, it's hardly the best way to plan your retirement. Okay, so who believes that the state's going to look after you? Yeah, exactly. The old age pension, if you were retiring today and you had a full stamp, you'd get a princely sum of £102.15 a week, old age pension. And that's if you've got a full contribution. Now you can start understanding the size of the problem. I go along to quite a lot of these for networking meetings, and I meet people who believe in renting out properties as a means to income. And yes, having property as part of your portfolio is actually a good idea, but it's not the most cost-effective way to have as your only pension planning. Why not? Well, you pay tax on the income on the rental. If you happen to be quite successful at renting these things out, you'll make a profit on the property, and then you come into capital gains tax mode. So it's not as tax efficient as putting money into pension. Because a pension, you get tax relief on it. Pension fund grows free of tax, and then you get an income. Yes, the income is taxable, but you can have 25% of your pot as tax-free cash. So having property in the buy-to-let sector as the only means of pension is not necessarily the most cost-effective way of funding your retirement. Yes, have it. Have it as part of your pension planning, but don't rely solely on that. Who's got a very large pension pot? Again, this is a problem. I'm seeing a lot of pension pots of under £100,000. Now, if you speak to my friend Alf from MetLife, he'll tell you that for about a £100,000 pot, you'll possibly get between £7,000 and £8,000 worth of pension income a year. And most of the pots, as I said, are under 100,000. So you've got to start building these pots up while you're in business, while you're young enough to earn money. Otherwise, you get to your 50s and suddenly, ooh, when did you want to retire? How much did you want? It's on your sheets. You tell me. I'm just here, and people like myself and John and any other financial advisor, we're here to help support you to get you to that retirement. Otherwise, you'll end up working till you die. Who wants to work till they die? My uncle did. I don't particularly want to work until I'm 70 or 80. Yes, you come along again to networking events, and there are people there who will help you have a supplementary income after you retire. But if you could manage to retire and not have to work, and this is just top-up money, isn't that better? And not everyone is suited to selling, because yes, the products can be very good, it's all fine and dandy, but if you're not used to actually selling, how on earth are you going to make a living out of it? And then it's taxable. And most people's answer is, I haven't the faintest idea. So this is a problem. Don't just take it from me. I took this out of the Evening Standard, 4th of October. And the headline here says, don't neglect saving up for your old age. And this is very true. Product providers are telling you this. The government, not that anyone takes any notice of the government, they're telling you this. Who in this room employs people? Okay. And how many of you actually heard of Nest? Thank heavens Richard does. Let me tell you a little bit about Nest. Look, I've actually put some information on here which is worth taking away with you. Because the Pensions Act 2008 actually comes into force next year, January. This is the auto-enrolment. Employers will have a responsibility to provide some type of pension plan. There's only one problem with it. They didn't get financial companies to run it. Do you know who they got to run this big, amazing, everyone's going to opt into a pension scheme? They got Tata. Great. So you're going to have an Indian call centre. You're going to have checklists. I've actually looked at some of the information on their website. I've downloaded it. If you'd like a copy, you can either Google Nest or give me a buzz and I'll email you a couple of the fact sheets that I've taken off of it, because I've put it on my Dropbox and I can just email it across to you. Anything but unclear, I'm afraid. And giving someone a decision tree saying, okay, there's different levels of risk in a fund isn't going to make people put money into it. Employers, you're going to have to, we start off, you're going to have to pay at least 1%, and employees will have to put 1% in as well. This is going to affect Office Angels. Because although some people who are employed by Office Angels only earn a couple of £1,000, once they get over 7,000, they will have, Office Angels will have to start putting money into their pensions. They'll have to be providing the people that you're giving permanent staff to, they're going to have to think of this as well. So it's well worth looking up the legislation and passing it on, just in case they don't know anything about it. The worst they can, head office can say, oh, we already know about this. Chances are they might not do. Speak to your accountant. I did this talk in Canary Wharf last week, and there were 3 or 4 accountants there. Not one of them knew anything about Nest, so thankfully Richard does. Speak to him. He'll tell you a little bit more about Nest. Don't just take it from me. But it's something you've got to start thinking about if you employ people. And if you're employed, you'll be automatically enrolled into this thing, and contributions will get up to 8% of salary. Ooh. Who puts 8% into their pension plans at the moment?